I do not own the rights to this music. Hello, and welcome to Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron. Sunday School lesson for Sunday, March the 16th, 2025. Our reference material for the Sunday School Summary is based upon the International Sunday School Lesson Series and is published by the Sunday School Publishing Board. We are discussing tabernacle sacrifices and atonement as the Spring 2025 lesson series. And the lesson series connects the Old Covenant sacrifices and offerings as a bridge to understand the New Testament's understanding of Christ's sacrifice. We are in Unit 1 and we are discussing tabernacle sacrifices and atonements as Lesson 1. The title of our third lesson in the Unit 1 Spring 2025 lesson series is titled Preparation for Service, or Set Apart for Service from God, or for God. Our key verse comes from Exodus chapter 29, verse 9b, which reads, "The priesthood is theirs by a lasting ordinance. Then you shall ordain Aaron and his sons, or he should set them apart as special servants of God." The title of today's lesson is Preparation for Service from the book of Exodus. And Exodus is the record of the history of the Israelite captivity in Egypt, God's delivery of the Israelites from bondage under the leadership of Moses. And during the Egyptian captivity, God protected the Israelis through hardships and miraculous plagues. And God's protection demonstrated that Egypt's deities were no match for the God of Abraham. But despite these dangers and trials, God protected them and provided for them as they escaped Egypt, how they wandered in the wilderness until they arrived at the destination of Sinai, the mountain where God had first revealed himself to Moses and waited further instructions. God commanded Moses to construct a tabernacle or a sanctuary where God would dwell with the Israelites. And he further instructed Moses to ask the people of Israel for a free will offering for the construction and operation and maintenance of the tabernacle, which brings us to today's lesson. There are two summary lesson points for today: consecrated for service, or consecrated to serve, and that's from Exodus chapter 29, verses 1 through 9, and prerequisite to service, and that's from Exodus chapter 29, verses 35 through 37. The passages for the lesson today revolve around the key words of faith, wisdom, consecrate, and tabernacle. And we know that faith is the complete trust, assurance, belief, or confidence in God. It is the faith to follow God's commandment on the purification and sanctification for service in the temple or tabernacle in today's lesson. Wisdom is the ability to apply experience, knowledge, and understanding to produce good judgment. It is the wisdom of Moses to follow God's commandment for the consecration of his servants in today's lesson. And consecrate means to set apart something or someone for a sacred purpose dedicated to God. And God instructed Moses to consecrate Aaron and his descendants as perpetual priests or servants of God in today's lesson. Tabernacle is a portable tent-like structure, sanctuary, or dwelling place to represent God's presence. And it is the ordination of the special service of God for work in the tabernacle in today's lesson. Our first summary point is consecrated to serve, and that's from Exodus chapter 29, verses 1 through 9. And these passages, God gives Moses instructions on how to set apart Aaron and his sons as God's special servants or priests. And God instructs Moses as when you make the priests God's special servants, that they were supposed to do it in a special way. They were supposed to take a young bull and 2 male sheep, and they must not have anything wrong with them, or they must be perfect. And he says that they should use flour from wheat to make 3 kinds of bread with no yeast in it. Mix olive oil with some of the flour and cook it, and cook some of the flour without any oil. And he says, cook some flour to make biscuits that then you would pour on the oil. And he says, put the bread and the biscuits into a basket and bring them to the tent of meeting with the bull and the 2 sheep. And then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting. And he says, use water to wash them and make them clean, or water to purify them. He goes on to say that then take the special clothes which the Israelite children had gave offerings to produce these clothes. And he says, take these and dress Aaron in the shirt, the robe, the ephod or the belt, and the breastpiece. And he says, tie the ephod on him with a special belt, and put on a linen hat on Aaron's head, and fix the special gold sign to the hat. And these are all things that the Israeli children had contributed for the ministry, if you will, of the priests for the God of Israel. And he says, bring Aaron's sons and dress them in their special shirts as well, and put the cloth hats on their heads, and tie the belts around Aaron and his sons. And he goes on to say that these men and their descendants will always be priests under Israel law. And he says that is a law that will continue forever. And he says that is how Moses should make Aaron and his sons God's special servants. So he gave Moses specific instructions as to how to consecrate or set apart those for service of God. And we should set ourselves apart so that we can provide service to God as well. Our second point is prerequisite to service, and that's from Exodus chapter 29, verses 35 through 38. And these passages, God provides the required ordination sacrifices before Aaron and his sons are consecrated by God as priests or special servants of God. And he says, do everything that I have commanded you, meaning that Moses was to be precise with God's instructions and follow his commandments diligently, as we should as well. And he says to make Aaron and his sons my special servants. He says, take 7 days to do this, which represents a period of progressive sanctification, which we all should experience in our daily lives. And he says, kill a bull each day, and as a sacrifice that make people clean for their sins. And he says, also make the altar pure and clean, pour oil over it to make it holy for me. And he says, do this on the altar for 7 days to make it pure. Then it will be completely holy, which is the altar. And anything that touches the altar will become holy as well. So we should commit to ourselves of a progressive sanctification in our daily Christian life, so that we will live a holy life as well. This is Brother Ron with the Sunday School Summary for Sunday, March the 16th, 2025. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you next Sunday for another edition of Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron.